A school is about more than bricks and mortar. At Florence Freshman Center, we take pride in the building that we have and the educational opportunity that we're able to provide our students. Hello, my name is Roderick Shepard. For those of you who've never heard of me, I get the privilege and opportunity of serving the Florence Freshman Center as the principal of the Florence Freshman Center. I'd like to take this time to welcome each of you to our annual orientation. It is here that we talk about how things take place at the Florence Freshman Center day in and day out during the course of your child's first step in high school in the Florence City school system. I welcome you to our orientation, and I thank you for taking the opportunity to come or to watch this so that you will learn about your child and the things that your child will need to know during the course of this year. Ordinarily, during orientation, we come in at Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. and we hand out these orientation packets. I stand in front of you and go over what these orientation packets contain. This year, we decided to do something a little different. In the Florence City school systems, we're talking about technology for our students, technology for our teachers. As the lead learner, aka principal, I thought it'd be a great opportunity for me also to use the technology to be able to reach out to the parents. We will have our normal orientation on next Sunday, August the 9th, from 2 until 4. But that will be a question and answer opportunity as we show you and familiarize you with the building that we have here at 1203 Bradshaw Drive. Now, talking about things that would be in orientation, or what we would normally talk about at orientation, we would normally begin by saying that, hey, this is where our students need to begin with the end in mind. Several weeks ago, we had what we call Camp Falcon, which was an opportunity for students to participate in a one-day introduction to high school. We had a mock graduation ceremony and a mock career fair / college fair for the students. At that career fair, Dr. Randy Pettis came and presented to us talking about the Scholar Dollar program. This is the program that allows every student who is entering into the 9th grade in the Shoals area an opportunity to get a scholarship after 4 years of high school if they maintain good attendance, have no major discipline, have a C average, and are an American citizen. They qualify for a 2-year scholarship to Northwest Shoals based on that. We also have a bell schedule. The important thing about a bell schedule is the fact that we have 50-minute periods here at Florence Freshman Center, and the periods begin, our school day starts at 7:50 and ends at 3:05. And we need our students to be here at 7:50 so that they will not miss any valuable instruction during the course of the day. Students who are not here by 7:50 are considered as tardy, and of course that means that they would miss part of the day. In addition to that, we have in the state of Alabama a mandate that all students have 95% attendance during this course of the year. We also want to make sure that all schools in the Florence City school system follow that mandate by having 95% attendance. I cannot stress to you how important it is for the students to be here each and every day. It would be important to us that you would schedule doctor's appointments and things of that nature in a way that would not interrupt the instruction that takes place here at the Florence Freshman Center, if possible. Also, we have a calendar. Everything that I am showing you that normally would be in this packet, we have several packets that are made out. However, we will provide for you electronically on our Facebook page and also via email. This calendar has on it the days that we're out of school as well as the days that we are in session. Also, we have a form that is whom to see. If a student is having a problem, they need to know who to go talk to and who to go see to be able to get that problem or that issue resolved so that we can make sure that we're serving the students to the best of our ability. We also have a map of our building and Florence High School's building. Many of your students will be taking classes not only on this campus, they will also have classes in the next campus. During the 2 to 4 time frame, we're going to have both campuses open so that you will be able to travel from one side to the next and familiarize yourself with the travels that your students will take day in and day out. And that's very important. We share with Florence High School a media center, library, a cafeteria, as well as a gym that we use for PE. So it's very important that they familiarize themselves with the campus. A fee schedule, because there's some classes that will have fees associated with them, and it's important that we provide those fees for you. Also, there is a lunch form for individuals that might need free lunches, or need reduced lunches. In addition, you can pay for your students' lunches online, which is a very good source and a very good resource to be able to do. I'd also like to take note of the fact that yearbooks are on sale. course, we haven't taken our first pictures yet, but still yearbooks are on sale, and between now and February, they will be $35. After February, they go up to $40. In addition, this year, Florence Freshman Center will be establishing a PTO. We do not have not had a PTO at Florence Freshman Center in the last 2 years. We need to establish one, and if anybody's interested in serving, please see me on Sunday, August the 9th, so that we can get that organized and up and running. Other things that are important, of course, there's a couple of schedules that we have, as well as a school map to show you where the classes that you will be taking. Now, let's talk about some very important stuff. Florence Freshman Center, of course, is in its second year on this campus. So when you drop your student off during the course of the day, you need to come from Darby Drive. You will come in Darby Drive in the far right lane. You will stay in the far right lane. Out front, there will be somebody as you're dropping your student off asking you to please pull up. The goal of that is so that we can have the traffic flow flowing in as efficient a means as we possibly can. Our desire is to have 4 cars dropping off in front of the school at one time, and then get 4 cars out and 4 cars back in. That is why someone will be waving for you to please come forward, pull forward, so that we can have as many students being dropped off at one time as we possibly can. The buses will also travel through. They'll use the inside lane. Once you drop off, you will be directed, and there will be somebody out there directing traffic into the inside lane so that you can then exit the campus going back towards Darby Drive. The first couple of days, this could be somewhat hectic. After that, it'll get a lot better, I can promise you. Also, I need to mention to you, on your schedule, you probably saw something that said Period 14, Career Preparedness. My son or daughter didn't sign up for that. That is a required course. It is also a virtual course. The same teacher that your child has for 4th period lunch is the same teacher that they will have for career preparedness, and they will be the teacher that will be recording the grades for that. They will take this on their iPad via recorded lessons, very similar to what this is right here. They'll watch the lesson, then they'll have an assignment, and they'll just turn it in, and it will be graded using Google Forms is basically how that will work. We piloted this the last 2 years. It worked well, and of course this will be the 3rd year that we've had of implementation of the virtual online version of career preparedness, which is an introduction course to what some students might, or what you might remember as economics in high school. It also introduces them to careers and correct behaviors that they would be able to possess on the jobs that they might be interested in having for the rest of their lives after they graduate high school. It's very important also that I mentioned to you the fact about F&P, that's Freshman Mentoring Program. You'll see that on their schedule as well. This is basically an orientation to high school course that they'll have for the first 6 weeks of school. At the conclusion of those first 6 weeks of school, some of the students will learn what is called a 50-minute lunch. Other students will go into a period built into the day of the 23 minutes of lunch that will basically help them in a class that they may be showing a deficiency in. To be able to earn the 50-minute lunch, a student must have a C average, no more than 3 absences, and of course have no discipline. Those are the 3 criteria that earn a student a 50-minute lunch. And at the end of the first 6 weeks, we'll be trying to look at that information to identify who's going to go into a 50-minute lunch, and of course who would go into what we call academic mentoring program. And the student will go into the academic mentoring program in the class that they have the lowest grade in at that point in time, which will be after we've had the first progress monitoring, or the first progress report comes home to you. Now, at Florence Freshman Center, I must tell you, it's very important. Just as important as your child is to you, your child is important to us. It's important to us that they get a first good step in high school. Therefore, during the course of this year, we're going to be trying to get the students involved in as many opportunities to be involved in school organizations as possible. We will have class elections within the first 2 weeks of school. We will also be organizing our clubs sometime within the first 2 or 3 weeks of school. And we have every club and every organization that they will have at Florence High School in an attempt to try to teach our students leadership qualities to prepare them for their high school step in next year in grade 10. That also takes place. During the course of the year, your students will hear a slogan from me that says, "Hard work pays off." What is the goal of that? Well, the goal of that is to try to teach them about delayed gratification. The work that you put in today will pay off down the road in relationship to the benefits that you'll receive from your efforts that you put in today. And that's the idea of what that means. In addition to that, we'll be trying to teach them to begin with the end in mind, thinking about 4 years from now, we need to be graduating high school. And also in 4 years from now, we'll be figuring out what it is that we want to do. These are the times in which they try to figure those things out. Very, very, very importantly. You'll also hear me try to harp on them and let them know that I have one rule here, and that one rule is respect. Treat others the way that you want to be treated, and everything else falls into place as it relates to that. Next thing I'd like to do is introduce our staff to you. We have Donna Brogron, Ricky Taylor, and Leslie Covington. In PE, we have Coach Horton. Our history department consists of Leslie Mitchell, Rebecca Pickle, and Milos Winston. Our English department consists of Jordan Maris, Mary West, Marlo White, and Mr. Brent McCoy. Next, we have our Career Tech department, which is made up of Mrs. Lisa Arnett and Mr. Matt Ball. In math, we have Mrs. Bolton, Miss Pounders, Mr. Bailey, and Miss Coram. Mrs. Lindley is our foreign language teacher at Florence Freshman Center, while Mrs. Mary serves as our guidance counselor at Florence Freshman Center. Our media specialist is Mrs. Rhonda Henry. Our guidance clerk / attendance clerk is Mrs. Georgia Webster. Our school nurse is Miss Brandy Adams. Our special needs teacher is Miss Donna Freves, and our art teacher is Miss Catherine Townsend. Our instructional partner is Miss Jenny Osborne, and our school resource officer, Officer Burcham. Our administrative assistants at Florence Freshman Center, our director of First Impressions, Miss Roxy, and our assistant principal, Miss Katie Dalrymple. At this time, I'd like to tie up some loose ends. First off, your iPad should have already been distributed to you during iPad rollout, which took place at the Tech and PD Center. Lockers will be issued on the first day of school in first period for those of you who have first period at Florence Freshman Center during first period. For those of you who have the high school in your schedule, you will receive your lockers during second period. Lunch, of course, is a shared entity as we share a cafeteria with Florence High School. We'll travel to lunch fourth period each day unless your schedule says otherwise, and you will be directed if your schedule does say otherwise as to how we will handle lunch on the first day of school. Athletics, of course, most athletic facilities, you'll have eighth period at the high school. You'll report to the dome or wherever it is that your schedule says to report on the first day of school. Everything that we do at Florence Freshman Center is intentional. Intentional with beginning with the end in mind. Today I have on my cap and gown as I sum up this video. 4 years from now, our desire is that you will be graduating from high school. It is our desire that we will do everything in our power to make sure that you are prepared with your first step in high school to be successful in grades 10, 11, and 12. We have one rule at Florence Freshman Center. That rule is respect, that you will treat others the way that you want to be treated, and that is how we intend to treat you while you're here. We thank you for entrusting your child's first step to Florence Freshman Center, and we hope, trust, and pray that we will have a great year here at Florence Freshman Center. With that, I'm going to conclude this video. On Sunday, August the 9th at 2 p.m., we will have our orientation right here. This will be an opportunity for you to tour the facility, for you to talk with myself, the counselor, assistant principal, and any teacher, and just to familiarize yourself with how we do things at Florence Freshman Center. I'm going to send this video out with you, as well as the electronic things that would normally have been included in a folder that would have been distributed during a normal orientation. I thank you for your time. I thank you for watching this video, and I hope you all have a great day, a good week, and I look forward to a great 2015-2016 year at Florence Freshman Center, because this is where hard work pays off, and they will get that, they will hear that, and it is my hope that they will apply that to their lives. Thank you, and I hope you have a great evening.